not baking because it's warm and it's been warm. So today's dessert doesn't involve the oven. I think you could use the stovetop, but I'm gonna cheat and use the microwave. Anyway, look at my new apron. Isn't it cute? I love the little toadstools. I've got a crush on you. I've got a crush on your cooking, if I could read upside down. But mine should say baking, because I love baking. This came from a shop downtown called Cursive, so super cute. Been kind of getting into the toadstool, all that kind of thing. But today we're going to make monster cereal bars. So if you're a fan of chocolate and peanut butter and Rice Krispies, this is the treat for you. So come on, let's go get baking. So it starts with some butter. I love starting my recipes with butter. And I don't use salted or unsalted. I know a lot of people prefer unsalted, and if you want to do unsalted, go for it. I'm not. I'm using give me all the salt butter. So, and I'll save this because we're going to use it later in some more of the recipe, and I'm going to microwave it to soften it a little bit. So we got 3 tablespoons of soft butter. I just did 15 seconds to kind of make it a little bit softer. And we're going to add marshmallows. And this is the part where they said you could put it in the oven or on the stovetop to melt it, but I'm going to cheat and microwave it because I just don't feel like babysitting it on the stovetop. And I'm wondering if I'm going to need a bigger bowl because it calls for 6 cups of Rice Krispie cereal, and I don't think this is going to be big enough. So hold on, let's get a bigger bowl. This is the biggest bowl I have, so hopefully that works. So let's try this again. And then we're going to microwave it. You can put it on a stovetop if you'd rather, but I'd rather not. Alright, that took about a little over a minute to melt it in the microwave. So now it calls for 6 cups of Rice Krispie cereal, or Rice Krispie cereal. Alright, a new box here. Look it up. Yeah, it says 6 cups, so here we go. 6 cups. Stir this in, and then we'll add some M&Ms. And I have dark chocolate M&Ms, but you can use mini, that's what the recipe calls for, or regular, whatever you floats your boat. Probably could even use peanut butter M&Ms. Oh, so sticky. This is probably where, this is where it will get messy. It reminds me of popcorn balls. I think I'm gonna take back my spatula. And we have a 9x13 pan here. I want to make sure I get all the marshmallow goodness from the bottom, so it's all mixed in. That's to help cool it down a little bit before we put in the chocolate so it doesn't completely melt. And I'm not going to use all of this because I think you put some in the next layer. So I think what I'll do is I'll use half. And if I want more, let's stir it in and see. If I want more, I'll just add some chocolate chips. You could use any of the fun colors too. You know, you could go at Christmas time and use Christmas colors. You could use the, you know what, I think I'm gonna put chocolate chip in the middle and use all the M&Ms in the bottom, just because I want to. But anyway, as I was saying, you could use, like when this was over the 4th of July, you could use the patriotic M&Ms, you could use the fall M&Ms, you could use pastel Easter M&Ms. I mean, it comes in all those fun colors, so you could always do that too, just to make it more festive. So now the fun part. And what I'm gonna do is put it all in there, and then I'm gonna spray my hands with cooking oil to press it in, because you can see how stringy it is. It's kind of messy. Like I said, it reminds me of popcorn balls. Good. All right, that cooking spray, put it on your hands, and then that will help you spread it out without sticking so much. And you can always do a little bit more, because we want to press it into the pan nice and snug, so it can be ready for the next yummy layer. Whoops! Just having all kinds of issues this morning. Speaking of, I had a jar that had pearl sugar in it for a recipe. I think they were a type of Swedish pastry, and you sprinkle the pearl sugar on top to make it all look pretty and give it a little bit of crunch and sugar sweetness. And when I went to pull out the marshmallows for this recipe, I knocked it down and spilled it all over my counter and all over the floor. So I had to shut our Dutch doors, because we have a door here to the kitchen and one over there to the library, so that the animals would all stay over there while I vacuumed up my mess. So it's like, is it gonna be that kind of day to day? Maybe, hope not. So now I have it pressed, and look, you could stop there if you wanted to. That's kind of pretty, you know, just M&M marshmallow treat. I'm not stopping here though. The next layer is the monster cookie dough. So it's an edible cookie dough, there's no eggs. So I'm gonna set this aside, take our next bowl, and work on monster cookie dough. For the cookie dough recipe, now it's gonna start with a half a cup of butter, and I melted it so it would blend easier. To that, we need a half of a cup of peanut butter, and I'm using natural peanut butter. So it's the kind you gotta stir, but you use whatever kind of peanut butter is your favorite. I've even seen recipes where I could make my own peanut butter, and I would love to try that. Get some peanuts and dry roast them in the oven, then put them in the blender or food processor until they release their oils. Add some salt. That may be coming soon. I want to try it. To this, before we stir, I'm going to add a couple more things. I'm going to add some brown sugar, and I'm using dark brown sugar. 3/4 of a cup. There we go. And we're going to use some vanilla. I believe, yep, it's a teaspoon of vanilla. So we got a teaspoon of vanilla. Whoops, a little bit more, but it'll be all right. And some salt. There we go. Let's get this mixed up before we go on to the next. A can of sweetened condensed milk. So here we go. Let's get this stirred. Now we need a cup of oats and a cup and a half of flour. And these are old-fashioned oats. I don't know if it makes a difference. And I think I'm gonna stir this before I add the flour. Looks like yummy goodness. Now, cup and a half of flour. There we go, our cup and a half. Getting pretty full. The last thing to add to this is some chocolate chips or M&Ms, but I used all my M&Ms, so I'm gonna use chocolate chips. And it will be fine because it's basically the chocolate. The only difference is M&Ms would add more color. But I personally would rather have all the color in the Rice Krispies because they're kind of boring. So this should taste almost like a peanut butter dough. I guess it's the Monster because it does have the oats. But a lot of Monster cookies have M&Ms and chocolate chips in them bowls. So, and hey, it's my bar, so I can make it how I want. You do the same. You could completely leave out all the chocolate and just have it be a peanut butter oatmeal layer. You could add a white chocolate. You could add some nuts. You could add toffee. I mean, it's your bar. You do it however you want. So let's throw in some chocolate chips. This will get spooned onto and pressed on top of the other layer. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna just, runaway chocolate. Spoon it on top and press it across so that it covers the pan. Now, the originator of the recipe, she said she only put half of it on there, but I want all of it on there because it's my recipe. So if you want to split it in half and save the other half for something else to just eat as like cookie dough, or to make into, I think she said she made hers into truffles. You do what you want to do, but I want them all on here. Okay, I washed my hands, so I can now pat this onto here and spread it on top. Got a conglomeration here. There we go. Spread out those chocolate chips. They're kind of puddling right there. And if you don't want to touch it with your hands, you can use the back of a spatula, or a rubber spatula. But sometimes cooking is dirty work. Just like gardening or painting. It's all fun, but sometimes you're gonna get messy. Now, we're gonna put this in the refrigerator to let it get a little bit harder, and then we'll put the last layer on. So I've had the layered bars in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. They'll go longer, but I want to top them with the M&Ms first and then let them set up. Or not the M&Ms, the chocolate chips, because now we're going to make a chocolate chip frosting. So it's 2 cups of chocolate chips and 3 tablespoons of butter. You could probably use coconut oil too if you wanted. So it's about as smooth as I want to get it. I could probably get it smoother, but I don't care. It's good enough for me. And now I'm just going to spread it on top of the bars and put it back in the refrigerator for a little bit so it can set up. Then we'll enjoy it for tea time. And I'm using dark chocolate because that's my favorite. It's what I almost always have. You could use milk. You could use semi-sweet. You could even use white chocolate if you're a fan of that. I'm usually not a big fan of white chocolate because I just like straight up chocolate. And contrary to what my mother believed, white chocolate has no chocolate in it. It's made from coconut, which I didn't used to like coconut, but I do. As long as it's good quality white chocolate. Some of the knockoffs, not so much. See how that spreads on just fine. And then we're going to put it in the refrigerator and let it set up for tea time. So there you go, friends. Monster cereal bars. I'm excited to try them. Let's put the lid on. Wow, look at that bar. See the layers? We have Rice Krispie, cookie dough, and chocolate. see the colorful M&Ms. Looks amazing. Can't wait to try a bite. Let's see. I'll figure it out. Wow. It's messy, but it's also good. Wow, that's amazing. If you are a chocolate peanut butter or monster cookie fan, this is yum. My best friend Marnie used to make these bars called O. Henry bars, and they kind of remind me a little bit of that. Just a little. I think it's the Rice Krispie, the peanut butter, and the chocolate. But I wonder how they got their name, Monster Bar. I get the cereal part. I get the monster part, but like, how did Monster Cookie become a monster cookie? Is it just because we like Frankensteined everything together into the recipe of the oatmeal, the peanut butter, the chocolate, the M&M? Some of them even throw in raisins, which is really a crime because I hate raisins. But it also makes me think about sometimes I'm a monster. Sometimes I behave very bad. Maybe I lie because I don't want to be honest. Maybe I cheat because I want the advantage. And overall, from the outside, people would say, well, you're a good person. It's just a little lie. It's just a little cheat. It's a white lie. Not really that bad. But, you know, a monster's a monster. A sin is a sin. And one of the things that I've been learning about is forgiveness. That I need to forgive other people. I need to not be a monster and carry that grudge on my back like a humpback, you know, or like Frankenstein, oh, because I'm so mad at somebody. But I need to forgive them, give them grace that God gave me. Such a good bar. The Rice Krispie has a nice crunch, and then the smooth. And it's not just all peanut butter because you've got the texture of the oats. Very good monster bar. But how do I not be a monster? Well, I think it comes back to remembering the grace God gave me. There's a Bible verse, Ephesians 4:32. It says, instead, help one another, be kind to one another, forgive one another. Remember that you've been forgiven because of what Christ has done for you. And I want to extend that same grace that he gave me to other people. And it's hard. Forgiving them sometimes like almost feels like a passive saying, no, it was okay for them to do the horrible thing they did. But that's not what forgiveness is. When you carry a grudge against somebody, they're not being weighted down by it and oppressed by what happened. You are. You're carrying the weight and the oppression. So when I hold something against somebody, I'm the one that feels bad about it. I'm the one that feels wronged about it. And I'm the one that carries that burden on my back. But if I can forgive them with the help of Christ, then I can let it go. And I don't condone what they did. I don't say it was okay what they did. But now I don't have to pay for their crime anymore. So, if you want a really yummy, delicious, chewy bar, make the Monster Bar. That might just be one of my new favorite desserts. It's so good. I think I could stand it to be a little bit more peanut buttery. Maybe next time peanut butter M&Ms. Or instead of butter, peanut butter in the chocolate layer. Then you get even more peanut butter flavor. But I would encourage you, if there's someone in your life that you need to forgive, stop paying for their crime and let it go. Forgive them and ask God to help you forgive them. Even if you have to do it every single day, it's better that you not carry that burden anymore and be free. Free to enjoy the good things in life. Well, thanks for joining me today in making monster cereal bars and for tea time. I enjoyed chatting with you and I hope you come back. Please subscribe so that you can hear more. We can share more tea times together. Give me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Know what you think. And if there's someone that you really need to forgive and you're having trouble, please let me know. I'd be happy to help pray for you so that you can be free from that burden. And maybe even potentially that relationship could be reconciled. I'm not saying that if it's abusive, it should be. It should not, most certainly not be reconciled. But at least you can be reconciled to yourself and not carry that anger and hurt anymore. But I would love to pray for you. Let me know. I will add you to my prayer list.